let me just bring you up to speed briefly on the situation in Ukraine. This is from the New York Times. They're saying that Russian forces withdrew from the strategic eastern city of Lyman on Saturday, a significant setback for Moscow just a day after President Putin declared that the region where it lies was now part of Russia. The battle for Lyman, a city in Donetsk province with a pre-war population of 20,000, is particularly poorly timed for the Kremlin, coming shortly after Putin illegally declared the annexation of 4 regions in Ukraine, where battles are still raging, and a month after Kiev's victories in the country's northeast. Again, I'm sorry, but I can't help but wonder and just, it's incredible how everybody suddenly has found their tongue, whether it's the New York Times or Mr. Stoltenberg at NATO. They can see so clearly all of a sudden. They know what an illegal annexation is. They know what a brutal war of aggression is, right? What a pity they don't know this when they do it themselves, right? When they do it in Iraq, when they do it in Palestine, when they do it in Syria. What a shame, right? Their vision has been clouded. So hours after Ukraine's defense ministry said its forces were entering the city, Russia's Ministry of Defense said that it had made the decision to pull out of Lyman. So this was a post on Telegram that said that, quote, due to the risk to be encircled, the Allied forces were withdrawn from the city to more advantageous locations. So why is this city significant? Well, it fell to the Russians in May, and it serves as a rail hub that flows into Donbass, the mineral-rich region in the Donetsk and neighboring Luhansk provinces. The other reason that it's very significant and why I'm telling you about this is because this is technically Russia now, right? So just look at here. I'm trying to pull up their own map and scroll back up. So Russia annexed this, so now they're having to retreat out of it, which is normal. Like I just want to be clear. In wartime, you have true positions that shift around, so this could also just be temporary. But I think what they're trying to do is basically they're trying to make fun of the Russians by saying, oh look, they annexed this and now they've been forced to retreat because they're losing on the battlefield. You saw how for a couple of months we had a stalemate. The Russian troops and Ukrainian troops, or NATO shall we say, let's be clear with one another, they were at a standstill for many months, didn't change, and then all of a sudden in the last month, Kharkiv, they made advances there, and in Kherson, not so much. So it could change, but I think it's a bit naive to only view this as what's happening on the ground there. As I told you, the Ukraine war is being fought on many fronts. It's not just the Donbass region. There's an economic war that's being fought. There's the entire West at stake here, not just declining, but you see the pipelines being sabotaged and the United States sort of, drawing a line in the sand and saying, yes, we are ready to sacrifice you. And they still don't understand. They still don't seem to understand. Here's Zelensky.
Станом на 12:30 Лиман зачищено повністю. Дякую нашим військовим, нашим воїнам. Слава Україні.
So just going back to the New York Times, they're saying that the next target, if the Ukrainian military continues its advance, would likely be Svatove, a city northeast of Lyman, where Russians have retrenched, according to analysts. Some of the nearest Russian reinforcements are roughly 25 miles to the southeast, around the city of Bakhmut. Wagner Group, an infamous paramilitary unit that reports directly to the Kremlin, has battered the Ukrainian defenders there, but has failed to seize significant parts of the city. So I just wanted to, again, just quick update of what's happened in the last day and the last couple of hours in Ukraine. But again, the war is multifaceted, and I think the global ramifications are more significant than the troop movements, for sure.